Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much again for joining me here. Hope you're having a phenomenal day. Taking a quick look here at Bitcoin, quick update from earlier today. So if you missed earlier today, I'll kind of recap some of that. There's also been some newer developments with the price pulling back and sweeping a majority of this liquidation. There was 40 billion, upwards of about 66,000, 65.8 essentially got hit. So we'll take a look at that, see if there's anything left remaining, and obviously kind of go from there. I just want to say quick congrats and thank you to my community. We got some awesome profit here from MNT, ICP, Near Protocol, Cardano, all profit targets achieved, VeChain, and Polkadot in the last 24 to 48 hours. So it's been a pretty solid little profit-taking situation there. At this point, I would say just, we want to wait for confirmation. There's no other way around it. A lot of altcoins, they're not pulling back super hard right now, but if Bitcoin dominance starts to increase as a result of just, say, altcoins starting to bleed out, then obviously you might want to be careful taking some longs. But for right now, I don't think it's super crazy. We are just seeing a moderate pullback, a normal pullback here at this point, because Bitcoin is retracing and has roughly about a full 1,000 or 1.5% since it hit that 65.8 mark. So let's take a look at liquidation, kind of see where we're at here. First and foremost, take a look at this and then kind of jump into some charting and just recognize, key level supports. Honestly, we have a lot of support coming up here, so I'm not super concerned. But if we do see majority of all those more late shorts here, essentially billions of dollars gone. So sorry, folks, that's what happens when you short all the time, right? So again, these are probably just repeat short offenders that keep getting hit there. Once more, the price will probably pull back. Still not a good idea to short, just based on the simple sentiment that we're in a bullish uptrend. Okay, and I recognize, I don't care if Bitcoin goes down to 63,000 tomorrow. That still wouldn't be worth shorting based on the overall sentiment with what we're seeing so far. Okay, that doesn't mean we're blindly bullish. It just implies we got to respect the fact that shorts are inherently more risky, and at this point, there's no confirmation that we're breaking bearish. There might be some hidden bearish divergences some people are finding right now, which is all well and good, but that's just like a very early precursor, if that is even the case right now, where I think it's just kind of a stretch. But the truth is, this range bound activity, we've broken the range. We got to see if it retests that local resistance or in essentially the support level. Really quick though, just to clarify, roughly again, 40 billion just got swept there. We've got maybe about 10 to 20 billion at 66,200. Maybe a little bit more, of course, if you add it all up, but generally speaking, majority of the major liquidation has been swept. So it would be safe to presume the price would pull back. That's generally how it works when massive areas of liquidation are taken out. Okay, so let's take a look at the daily and work our way down and just recognize a couple of things here. What we want to look at here, first of all, is the 200-day SMA. To clarify, if you can't see it, it's this purple line here, right there at about 63,800. So 2 days ago, we saw the price jump up, close above. Yesterday, close below. Today, on target to close above. So generally speaking, again, SMAs, they're not resistance and supports levels. They're ranges for the most part, where the price will kind of range above or below. If we start to range above, that's generally construed as bullish. We're also honoring our ascending trend line, running concurrent with the 20-day and potentially the 50-day SMA. So honestly, staying above those is probably the most important. That does put us in a situation where the price could pull back literally to 60,000 and we'd still be considered bullish. Okay, so you got to recognize we're in pretty darn good shape still. Okay, so heaven forbid the price pulls back and we start to see some some altcoins start to suffer. We'll have a conversation and discuss that, but most altcoins are above their key level supports or above their previous resistance, most likely referred to as a support now, depending on the coin. And I'm mentioning that because a lot of folks are curious, what's Bitcoin going to do? How's that going to affect alts? For right now, it's not like a dramatic scenario. We're not seeing alts bleed out. It's kind of a very good situation as we're seeing it so far. All right, everything else is truly bullish. I don't really need to get into detail here, honestly. We're just really good shape. Money flow index is high. Everything's looking great. The truth is, while we are expecting the price to pull back maybe a little bit, even if it comes back into this lower range, I'm still not going to be concerned, just mainly because, again, everything else is looking like it's got good momentum. When we look at money flow index on the 4-hour, it's still increasing, believe it or not, and we're back up over the RSI, which to me is more important. So MFI above RSI, always construed as a positive sign. And then we can see stochastic there's that little divergence, right? If you look far enough, you'll find it. And that is essentially one of those areas there that's kind of just giving us a heads up that, hey, we kind of hit our top on this little run. Big surprise, the price might pull back, which is a very, very natural thing, okay? Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. The thing that I want to kind of reiterate and reaffirm here specifically on the 4-hour time frame, because again, this is a good transitionary time frame letting us know, hey, we've transitioned to a bullish scenario here, right? We broke through this key level resistance. The reason why we broke through wasn't because we just came up, we closed above that, and we've remained above that for the last 12 hours. It's generally a good sign. Also, furthermore, too, this previous resistance is going to be considered the local support. So to me, a closure at 64,400 today would be considered bullish. If we close below that, it doesn't mean it's bearish. It just implies that we need to recognize that we might see a little bit more price action up or down before it either legs up again, or we inevitably break the ascending trend with a type of shift in momentum. We're a long ways from that, though. Okay. So again, to reiterate, the sky is not falling. Please try to compose yourselves. All right. So 4-hour time frame. Looking pretty good in the overall sense. Again, we got small divergences here and there, but and once more, you might be seeing some people online talking about how, oh my gosh, this is crazy, and people are shorting Bitcoin from the top and all that. It's all well and good, perfectly fine. Go ahead and do that. If that's your thing. It doesn't make a ton of sense to short into an uptrend though, right? I get it. Small margins, that's going to be fine. But if you're looking for like a large swing trade, you're just going to find more success swing trading upwards than downwards at this point. Just to give you perspective here. Take a look at the Ichimoku cloud. This is confirming that we want to leave every long position open that you have with Bitcoin. Not necessarily every, of course, different scenarios exist, but from an overall perspective, macro and kind of looking at everything so far, the hourly time frame tells us we got a good 12 to 24 hours of just leaving your trade open without having any problems. So in other words, this is a really good indicator of letting you know that if you're on the right side of tracks or not. We are 110%, okay? Just because we saw a small amount of pullback doesn't mean the world is over or the crypto world is over, right? 64,500. I'm using a round number there just because it's best to close a little bit above that specific level. I think that's what we're going to be looking for here. Again, if things work the way they should, which is how trading is supposed to work without manipulation, now that we've swept all that liquidation, it would make sense that we see slightly less manipulation. We should be able to see the price action consolidate here and leg up again. That's generally how that's supposed to work based on this breakout pattern and the reaffirming of this previous resistance turn support at 64.5. So I'll go and post our playout chart here on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord so you know it looks a little something like this if you're not familiar. Just kind of give you perspective on coins that I cover and liquidation levels for them, so you can get a bit of a better educated version of what we just talked about here. So I'll go ahead and post that. I'll be back online tomorrow morning, of course, to go ahead and recap again, see what kind of shenanigans the Asian market's going to come up with. Keep in mind, Asian markets are pretty good about securing profits if it's been a profitable day. We're up 3% almost on the day, so I wouldn't be surprised we see somewhat of a candle wick here. Okay, but I think the inevitability is upside, more potential there for that. All right, so that's kind of where we're at there. I hope that makes sense. Thanks again so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.